Let's quickly say welcome to Gaga, George, because she's not been here before. So you have the control. It's all yours.
Welcome. Hello, good evening. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is in your area. Welcome to the Members to Members webinar, X100k. And this is members. I'm just a member. We've got John here on the panel, a member, been a member for many years before me, or a long time before me. And we're just members like you. If you're in X100k, if you're watching from the outside, you're really going to like this, because this is something that you can run outside of what you're normally doing. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a true wealth builder. And I'm going to show you that in this very simple to understand presentation. So I hope you've all had a great week so far. It's been busy, it's been fun. I've had a great, superb week, as usual. But if your financial situation's not quite right, take a good look at this presentation. And if you're feeling a bit low, when we get into the chat, ask me to tell you a joke and I'll put a smile on your face. But apart from that, let's get into this presentation and show you what this is all about. So I'm going to share screen now and begin this presentation.
Looking good, buddy. Looking good, buddy.
That's great. Welcome to X100k Basic Training Webinar. In tonight's webinar, we're doing an opportunity presentation. Well, let me introduce myself first. I'm just a member like John and many of you that'll be watching. My name's George Holmes. I live in Cardiff Bay, Wales, UK. A little view from my balcony. And I've been on the internet for I've lived off it for over 17 years. And I've done it by helping other people and leveraging. And you'll see those two basic principles of true wealth come right into X100k. So what is X100k and how does it work? Well, first of all, let me tell you what it is not. X100k is not a get rich quick scheme. If you're looking for one of those, then join the next flashing light on the internet and lose some money, because this is not about that. What it is a true, sustainable, long-term wealth builder. But you can start for free. It was designed and created by Michael Weber, who is a world leader in his field. He created and designed X100k for everyone, whether you've got no cents in your pocket full of luscious money. Whichever the case is, X100k is for everyone and in between. So let me explain what X100k is all about. This circle is X100k. But it's more than just a circle. What you see in here in this circle, it represents the whole of X100k. But within this circle are many smaller circles. And each one of these smaller circles is a wheel within a wheel. They're like cogs in a machine. And like cogs in a machine, they're interlinked. When one cog turns, it affects another one. And X100k is like a big circle with all these mini circles in. But each one of these circles is an income stream. So in X100k, every one of these circles is an income stream. They are constantly changing and evolving and developing to secure your future and make your business run faster. And also to keep you safe, secure, and sustainable. Each one of these cogs is a matrix. But unlike other matrices, these are unique because they link together. Each one feeds another one, whether it's purchasable at the time or not. So even when a matrix is, let's use the word closed, but it never closes. It's not purchasable. It's still working in the background. And I'll go over that a little bit more. So you can join for free. When you join, you can pick up a free position. At the moment, that free position is worth 50 cents. Like I said, this presentation is based on the basics. It's constantly evolving and changing. There are times where you might join and it's a 25% position, but normally they're around about that price, 25 or 50. So you join for free, you log in, you scroll down, and you pick up your free position. Now, when you come to log in, you may come across an advertisement, and you'll see at the top on the yellow, you'll see a little 19 seconds. This advertisement will run down for 20 seconds down to 0. And when it does, you will pick up 1 cent. Those 1 cents each day build up. Now, you might not always find an ad, but most times they are available different times throughout the day. You pick up this 1 cent, and over time, each day, if you look and pick up those ads, those 1% build up. And do not underestimate that 1%. 50 of those gets you a position, which eventually will be worth $100,000 to you. And I'll explain that as we go through this presentation. If there are no ads available, you'll see this sign. It'll say, sorry, we are out of login ads. Click the X100k logo before and continue to the members area. So you can still log in even if there's no ads. But then later on, when the ads come back on, when you find them, you can cache them. And what I do is every day I get up, I put my computer on. I've got several actually, but my main one, I put my computer on, the one I'm working on most, and I load up X100k. And then I work off the rest of I pull up other tabs and work off the rest. So in the corner, I've always got X100k. So I can check when ads are available because I manage a lot of other people's accounts for them. And so I've got a lot of people to log in for. So I'm always looking to see whether the ads are available. So once you've logged in, you scroll down and you'll see this big blue banner. In this particular case, it's the Freeway 3 matrix. But in actual fact, at the moment, it's a Freeway 4 matrix. So, like I say, it's always evolving and changing. So you pick down, you scroll down, you click that, and you pick up your free position, whatever it is at that time. And it will have a value to it. The value of this one is 50 cents. It will have that value, but don't worry, follow the process through and you'll be given that first one for free. It's no charge. So what does that mean? Well, this example is the one that I explained in this webinar, and it's not presently running at the moment. It is working in the background. We're now onto a new matrix. Like I say, it's always evolving and changing. So we'll stick with this one, and it gives you a brief idea of what happens. In this particular example, it has a value of 50 cents, and you pick one up. It cycles, it's like matures on different levels. On level 1, it pays you back 50 cents. This is just this matrix. Each one is slightly different. On level 2, it pays you back $2.50. On level 3, it pays you $7. So in this particular case, when it cycles on its first level, you get 50 cents. That means you can purchase another one. Now you've got 2 running. When it cycles on level 2, you've got $2.50. In this particular matrix, you could only buy 1 a day. So you've got 5 days to use that $2.50 and buy 5 more. The one that's running at the moment, you can buy 2 a day. And that's how the matrix has changed. Some matrices pay out more, some pay out less, depending on the matrix, how much it costs, and what's running at the present time. The one running at the moment is 50p, but it only pays out $4. However, it's designed in such a way that it matures quicker. So each one, if you average them out, they're all roughly the same. They either pay out quicker or they pay out more. You'll notice here on level 3, pays out $7. So if you join for free, you've picked up a 50p matrix, it's cycled on the second level, you picked up another one, that's 2, and you've got $2.50. You've got another 5, that's 7 you've got. And then you get the final figure, $7. That $7, the best thing to do with that is leave that in your account, and the system will automatically, because the $7 there, take that and purchase you a pro matrix. And what that does, that makes you a pro member. And once you're a pro member, you only have to get 1 of these. You're a pro member for life. There is a loyalty programming where you benefit from keeping that up and regular, but I can show you how to do that within this system and have it almost self-financing. In fact, it will be eventually. So it's open for people without the funding and people who can add in. So if someone had a free $7, then they could add in $7 a week and keep that subscription current. Or if they just had $7 a month, they could keep it current for at least 1 week in every month. And then the system itself, as things cycle, you could keep that current more and more often. So in this case, it pays out $10. Now, if you look at the sponsor payout, whoever you signed under, the sponsor doesn't get anything on level 1, but the sponsor gets 50 cents when your position cycles. So you bought a free position and your sponsor is going to get 50 cents when that position cycles. And when it cycles on level 3, when it's finally cycled completely, gets another 50 cents. So your sponsor's made $1. But the position only costs 50 cents. So what you will get is sponsors who buy positions for the downline. I do this on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And you buy positions for your downline, and it's like doubling your money. So this is a brilliant way where you can leverage your money, your funds, your balance, in order to help other people. Because the faster that they build up, the more they'll cycle and the more bonuses you get. And by doing that, you're helping them. But you're also getting rewarded because you're doubling your money. So let's have a look at one of these little matrices and what they can mean. Now, this is an example, and I'll explain this as we go through. It's based on the matrix that was running at the time when I made this presentation. 50 cents matrix, and there's a 50 cents now. This one paid out $10. The one presently only pays out $4, but it cycles faster. So you can almost even them out. So this is an average of what could happen. So if you look at that, you've got $10. So if you look at this from a point of view, just this matrix, just that 150 cents. $10, when that fully cycled, you would have bought 20 more positions. Or you could. Now, 20 positions that return $10 each is $200. That $200 would buy 400 more positions. And 400 positions at $10 is 4,000. So you got $4,200 for a free position that you picked up. And when you picked that up, you bought another one on the first level and another 5 on the second level. Now, that would take so long that it wouldn't be the same matrix. When you bought these 400, it wouldn't be the same matrix. It'd be a different matrix, but it doesn't matter, because as you go through all the different matrices, purchasing and purchasing and purchasing builds up. And I'll show you later on the effect, an incredible effect that has. And I've done this since I was younger than 17, very much younger. I was taught to leverage my money from a very, very young age. And I've done it all my life. And does it pay off? Oh, yes. Now, let's have a look at something else. You see at the bottom, 5 by freeway 2 positions. This is the bonus you get with this particular matrix. Each one is different. So what you get when this cycles is 5 freeway 2 positions. So this goes into another cog. Remember, I talked about the cogs being interlinked and one turning the other. This matrix is cycled and paid you $10 that you picked up for free. And you would have bought some more on the way that do exactly the same as what I'm saying. And this matrix puts 5 positions in freeway 2, which is an older matrix. That matrix is non-purchasable at the moment, at the time of this presentation. You can't buy it. You can't buy it now. But it's working in the background. Why? Because every time one of these cycles, it puts 5 in that particular matrix. As I said, this whole system is constantly changing and evolving for the benefit of all members, to make these matrices cycle and carry on cycling. So a matrix might have closed or be non-purchasable, but these positions going in are cycling all the people in it that have purchased a position before it closed. So those matrices are still working in the background. And that's really important to understand. So as soon as you can, as I said, you purchase more positions. And you see the green one, the free one you got at the top. I've got that up at 12 o'clock on the circle. And you've purchased another one as you've gone on. You cycle the first level and you purchased another one. And you can do this for free as one cycles, or you can add funds to move it faster and purchase whatever the limit is. Each matrix has a minimum of what you can purchase per day. So if you've got the funds available, then you can load up the funds and move the system on faster for you. But even as a free member, by focusing on purchasing, and not taking any funds out, you can build this up to an incredible level. So you can do it for free or add funds to move faster. And as you do, as I said, you can go pro. You'll see there's a wheel that says non-purchasable. And as I said, this is one of those that's not working in the background. But remember, you got your free position. And as you cycle and you buy more, and you get those free ones that help a matrix that's non-purchasable. It causes that matrix to move, and someone may cycle out of that into another one. So all these matrices are interlinked. So you've got one that's cycled, it's giving you a free position in an old matrix. And you might not even be in that matrix. You might have just joined and got this one. But that's going to take someone to cycle out. And they may cycle out of that one that's non-purchasable, the orange one, and they could go into the blue. That could cycle somebody out of the blue and go into the purple. That could cycle somebody out to go into the green and the black, in the purple, in the blue, in the brown, and straight up to the 100k. They're all interlinked and working together. Once you become a pro, it's important to keep your subscription as active as possible. So from a free member, you can do that by constantly purchasing. And as you purchase of this cycle, and you use that, purchase more as soon as you possibly can, the better off you are. Do not leave funds in your balance. It's the worst thing you can do. What you need is that money working for you. So the minute you've got enough to buy any matrix, purchase one. Because it means that that matrix is, that money is working for you. And you may, from a free member I'm talking here, you may only be able to afford, you know, you may cycle and it might be 2 months before you can buy another pro subscription, which is $7 a week. And it gives you a $20 position that pays you back. So it may be 2-3 months, but because you're buying positions, it suddenly gets to 2 months, and then it gets to 1 month, and then it gets to every 2 weeks. And then suddenly you find out that because you've been purchasing, you've got that much cycling, it's providing the funds to keep you proactive all the time. And that's where you want to be aiming for. And that's starting for free. Of course, if you've got funds, you can add them in. It varies according to how you do. You can see here, this is an example of one of my accounts. And you can see here, if you look at the purchase dates here, you can see that I've been purchasing out of funds that have cycled. So these are the actual purchase dates. So if you look on the 8th, I purchased 2 on the 8th. So 2 I couldn't purchase that month. You look at the 9, all of a sudden there's 5. I've had some good cycling that month. Must have had 5 weeks in it. So I've been able to get one every week. So that, where I failed the month before, I've caught up. It's gone less. Every now and again, depending on cycle, I got 4 that one on the 10th. So that's good for that month. But all of a sudden on the 11th, it went down to 2 again. Every now and again it will, according to what I've been buying when it's been cycling. But this builds up. And then we go on to the 12th, I've got 4, and it carries on. But you get little breaks like that where it won't. And that's starting for free and building up. But if you can add funds in to help that, it gets much better for you. And as you see, it pays out on 3 levels. This particular Pro Series pays out $20. The one running that's coming up shortly is going to pay out $56, which is incredible. This is just $20. So $7 turns into $20. And you can see 3 of those have totally cycled. And all that's been used to purchase more pros and other smaller matrices. So you're building up, you're leveraging, and eventually be able to help others as your account builds. So you log in daily, keep your pro current position, and go to the webinars. Come to this webinar and learn it again and again and again. If you've got any questions, ask me, John, or one of the other members. Go to the Skype rooms. Be involved in the Skype rooms. We've got a special page, a training page. Go to that and learn about the back office. But keep your pro current position current as much as you possibly can, depending on your abilities. But go to the webinars, including the company webinars, which are more in depth. They're on every Friday evening. You can get to them in your back office, scroll down, you'll see the webinar. So what you're doing is you're leverage to build and grow into the higher matrices. And you're aiming for that 100k. And what is the 100k? Well, let's have a quick look at that. This is the 100k. It costs $25. And you will get them for free every time a pro position that I've just been talking about, keep active as often as possible. When that cycles, it gives you one of these. You want hundreds of these. And I'll tell you why. They're a long matrix. There's 8 levels. But they build up over time and pay out a total of $100,000. And what you're doing is you're building up a mass of investments that start fruiting. And all you need is one of these every year. And you've got $100,000 a year. And we'll show you how that works. If you look at the blue area at the bottom, you'll see what a sponsor gets. A sponsor gets a total of $15,000 for every one of his downline that has one of these. So it's worth a sponsor buying those 50p matrices and other matrices when they've got funds available, depending on the style of the matrix, for downline, because it brings those downlines up towards themselves, more close in terms of finance. It brings them up more close in terms of how many positions they've got. So they are cycling more, and they are purchasing more and cycling more. And because of that, they'll get more of the x100ks. And the more of those they get, the more that they complete, the more the sponsor's going to get. So the sponsor gets rewarded for continually helping downline. But you can't help downline until you've helped yourself. You have to get yourself organized. Presentation, and I'll do it privately for anyone that wants to see it, on how to accelerate your business within x100k. And I'll do that for anyone who needs to see it. Just PM me in the Skype room and I'll show you it. So what are you aiming for? You're buying all these matrices. As this cycle, you get into a bigger matrices, you get to pro, that opens a door to more matrices and makes you cycle faster, and you start going around this system. But what are you aiming for? What is it that you're truly aiming for beyond that x100k position? What you're aiming for is max purchases. Each matrix has a limit of what you can purchase. So you should be right from the beginning aiming on the max purchases. Take nothing out and put that money back in. Let it compound in positions. So you're getting more and more and more and more positions. Now, positions take time to cycle, depending on the matrix, depending on when you bought it in the matrix. If you buy it early, it's going to cycle quicker. If you buy it later, it's going to cycle later. But that does not matter, because you're not looking to take any money out. You're looking to max purchase. If you truly want to build enormous wealth, and I speak from personal experience, that's what you should be looking to do, because the results of it are astronomical. Because once you get to that stage, the speed and the flow of it is much faster. So let's have a look at where you're really going. You started with a position, 50 cents. It's like liquid money. You've got these positions, and if you look at it like a glass, and you've got liquid gold dropping into it, you'll see a couple of spills of liquid gold going into the bottom of the glass, a couple of drops. That's your first 50 cents position, your free one. And you start adding to that as this cycle, you get more or you purchase more, and all of a sudden your glass starts getting a bit of liquid in. You don't drink it, you don't spill it out, you don't take it, you let that glass fill up. You're heading for max purchasing. Then you get a pro position, and that opens up more matrices, and your glass is starting to fill nicely now. You get your pro position more regular, like I showed you. And you keep buying the small ones in between when you can't. And that builds it up, and it gets better and better and better, and your glass starts really filling. And you start building up, and your x100k start building up, and all the other matrices in between. You'll have £1,000 matrices, a $300 matrix. You'll have all different ones paying you all different styles of matrices, constantly changing, constantly evolving, constantly designed to make this system work together, to make all these cogs well oiled, to make them link, to make them turn each other, building up. And you get into max purchasing. There's only so much you can buy on each matrix that's available to purchase at any one time. And you won't be able to do that all the time. I think the last time I looked, and I haven't looked recently, I must admit, but the last time I looked, I think it was something like $750 per day. Now, how much it is now, I don't know. But it was $750 per day the last time I looked. And that sounds like a long way away, but it's not. It's not, because you've been leveraging, because you've built up so many matrices. You'll be amazed at how that compounding, investment, leveraging pays you back. And the more you get into that max purchasing, the faster and bigger that gets. But you know, you'll have times when you're max purchasing and you're almost filling the glass up, but you're not quite. You can max purchase one day, but you can't the next. You can max purchase maybe for a full week, and then all of a sudden there's a day missing, or a week missing, or a couple of days missing. But these times get closer together because you're max purchasing as much as you possibly can. That max purchasing time, when you can't, gets closer together. And what happens is this: your glass overflows. It overflows with liquid dollars, liquid gold, liquid money. There's nowhere else for it to go apart from overflow out of that glass, because you're max purchasing every day. You built up over time. I said over time. This over years. And it started to overflow. And if you follow this process and listen to a lot of experts, like John is an excellent example of this, started for free, exactly what I'm talking about. And when that starts overflowing, what can you do with it? Well, you've only two choices. You can give it away. You can buy for all your downline. And when you do, and if you do, it'll come back tenfold at least. Because the more you buy for them, the faster they're going to cycle, the more you're going to get, and the more you're going to overflow. So eventually, there's only one thing you can do. Just take it out. Take it out. Now you have a never ending, ever building bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger amount of liquid gold, dollars, whatever currency you want, money coming into your pocket. And you max purchase it and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a full circle of X100k. However, I do understand that there are people who would find it difficult to go that full circle round because they've got urgent needs. And what I'm going to show you now is not an excuse for you to not do the right thing and leverage. But there are people who urgently, when I say urgent, I mean emergence, they need a roof over their heads. Because we've got people in this business who haven't got a roof over their head. We've got people in this business, I'm looking after some, that have been had the houses destroyed by mudslides, floods, earthquake. I've got 3 that fall into all those that I'm looking after. I've got one that's got 3 families living in one house because 2 got wiped out. 5 families living in one house. To them, it's urgent. That's the sort of thing. And I've got an answer. An answer where it feeds both sides of that argument. It feeds the system to have light at the end of the tunnel and actually get to that light, but also look after them while they're getting there. And it's called the 25-75 rule. And this is how that works. And this is an example. I'm saying a livable income is $2,000 per month. Now, that's an average example. It could be $8,000 for some people. It could be just $500 for some people. It could be $100 for some other people. It depends on where you are in the world. So for this example, and if you want to write this down, you'll find it quite amazing. You'd write your first figure down in your currency, whatever it is, what your livable income is. Write that down. You write what your that's what you basically need just to survive. We're not talking luxuries here, just to survive. And what you do is you build up to 8 times that. So in this example, you needed $2,000 a month. So talking x100k wise, you needed $2,000 a month. So you need that in your balance that you can withdraw. $2,000 that you can withdraw. So you build up to that. And then you multiply it by 4. You think, wow, it's taken me a long time to build up to $2,000 disposable income per month in X100k. And you want me to take it to 8? Sounds a lot, doesn't it? Multiplied by 4. It's not. The time in getting to 2,000 was the hard work. It was the foundation. It was the walls. To put the roof on is very fast because the structure is there. You're putting 2,000 in a month. It's not going to take very long before you've got 8,000 profit. The space in between 2 and 8 is very much shorter. The time space is very much shorter than 0 to 2,000 by a long, long way. You're talking the difference between years and months, a couple of months. So you take it from that 2 to 8. Why would you do that? Well, if you take it to 8, and then you take 75% of that 8, that's 3/4. So 3/4, or another way, 75% of the 8 is $6,000. In this example, it's $6,000. Depending on what your top figure is, you can work this out quite easily. 3/4 or 75% is 6,000. And what do you do with that? Put it back in. Your 6,000 goes back in. 3/4, 75% goes back in. Back into your business. Invested in your business like any other business would do. Like any high street business, corporate business, small business, medium business. That's what they would do. What does that leave? 3/4 or 75% leaves you 1/4. What's 1/4 of 8,000? 2,000. 25%. That's yours. What have you just achieved? You've just got the basic survival, your top line. You've just got that. That's your, you can take that out every month now, every month. But you're investing that 75%, 3/4 back in. What does that do? That means your 2,000 the following month is going to be more than 2,000. And the following month is going to be even bigger, more than 2,000. And the following month, more than 2,000. Never ending, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because you're only taking out 25% of what's available. And that available is going up because you're putting 75% back in every time, every month. So your 75 is going in, pushing your 25% higher. So whatever's in your balance, you still only take out 25% of it. When it rises to 3,000, you know, when it rises to 10,000, you take out 25%. You put 75% back in. And that 2,000 gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Never ending. Just literally bigger, bigger and bigger. So now you've got exactly what you needed, and you're covering two sides of a coin. You've got past now your survival income, and your life's beginning to improve. You can afford some comforts now. But you've also got an increasing amount of wealth because you're putting that 75% back in, which will result in what I went over earlier, and an overflowing glass that will pay you on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the X100k opportunity from a member who has built an incredible business from it. And there's no better person than to talk about that now than John the man himself, because he started just like me as a free member. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this presentation, but only the beginning of your X100k. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I shall come back to screen and answer any questions that you may have, or tell a joke if you need one.
Let's get some questions. Otherwise, you tell us a joke.
Yeah.
There's a question. I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Eco. Yeah, payment processors. The problem is they don't need us. We need them, and they work at speeds like slow and stop. Especially something like Payzer, which can take up to 10 days. So if you want to put money in your account to take part in a new matrix launch, you need to get it in early. I can remember one particular time when it was one of the scavengers, and STP froze my account 5 times in 1 week. So by the time I got it back, I missed out on the purchase. And it makes a lot of sense too. I mean, when George was talking about buying the, keeping your funds current, because if you are a loyal member and you follow, you've got all the necessary qualifications, like you got your S1k or your Scavenger 4. Or Scavenger 3, wasn't it? When the Scavenger 4 launched, for example, I was a loyal member. And the first,
I do apologise. It's one of my Indian people.
But when I got yesterday, the first line had filled. So that's probably filled today, $500. So the first thing I'm going to do when the second phase launches for the ordinary members next week, I'm going to buy another one. And I will buy for the people in my downline that are actually active. I'll help them as well, because the more you help your downline, the more cash you will earn. Like Georgian and myself were talking earlier on before the webinar starts, we learned a long time ago that if you help other people to earn money, then it comes back by default to us. And if you adopt the same thing will happen to you. Help your downline. They are a gold mine. And for anybody who's got tire kickers, by tire kickers I mean somebody that's joined and not done nothing, at least buy them one of the 25 or 50 cent matrices, because eventually they will become lifetimers. And then they can't withdraw. Once they become a lifetimer, they can never ever withdraw. The account's gone, but you carry on getting commissions. That is one of the things that Michael put in that's actually saved this program from failing, where most other programs fail, because you always get people that join, especially matrices, and if they don't do anything, there's a blank spot. And then there's a blank spot there, and there's a blank spot there, and there's a blank spot there, all the way down the matrix, and that will make it stall. But because Michael's put in the for the tire kickers, the lifetimers, that won't happen. But if you want to take advantage of it, put in at least 25 cent matrix. Sam, he's another member on the panel on Friday. He's actually got loyal members that are lifetimers. They've never put a cent in, but Sam has. And they are loyal members. Can't do anything with them, but he earns commissions from them for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Incredible.
Absolutely fantastic.
And it doesn't matter, you know, I always say to people, it's x100k is an unusual program. As soon as I saw it, I thought, I understood it straight away. And all I did was research the owner. And when I saw his blog, I went, yeah, I'm in here straight away. Because he was talking about helping people, his passion. And I went, yeah, that's good enough for me, answers my questions, ticks the boxes for me, and I got involved. What's really interesting is that it's one of these programs that, regardless of what you're doing, you should get in here anyway, because it's long term, it's over and beyond running different types of businesses. You know, businesses, for instance, I mean, I used to do a lot of ClickBank stuff where, you know, I was getting X amount coming through every fortnight from ClickBank, stuff like that. But all that, I don't do it now. I've built my businesses up different. But any other business, this is a great one to run alongside. And I think it's one that you should be involved with regardless, because it's a long-term, real big wealth builder. Well worth it. And it's got longevity because of the waste of time.
If you pay your $7 subs every week, it comes to a point, I can't remember how long it took me, but it's certainly less than 6 months. And you'll find you don't need to keep putting money in to pay your subs. The program will pay you, because you'll be getting 25 cents on this one, $10 on that one, 50 cents on this one, $20 on that one. And every day I log in, I used to look to see where the money was coming from. Now I don't bother, because there is so much of it. I can look in my commissions, the tab on the left, you can click your commissions. And for one day, there might be 30 or 40 entries. All right, the majority of them are 25 cents. But every now and again, there's 100, a 50, 25s, 20s, and that's where it pays. But obviously that's not going to happen overnight. It takes time.
And am I right, you're not far away from max purchasing?
Very close, very close. I was working on 5 years. I think it's going to be 4 for me.
Yeah, that's excellent, isn't it? And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's a free member. Started as a free member, that's correct, isn't it, John?
I know members that have joined for 3 that have actually withdrawn $1,000. Silly move, but that just shows you what you can do for free.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Brilliant program, but stay with it, don't withdraw, put it in, and become wealthy like John and myself. Well worth it. And do it by helping other people, which you'll do. Excellent program. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this presentation, and don't forget, go to the company ones. Let me just pop in for John to pop in the room. I've just got to find this, John, sorry.
The webinar is recorded. It's on my YouTube channel, but I mean, if anybody wants it, I can get it for you. Just get in touch with me.
Let me have a look. Webinar. That's what I'm looking for. No, not that one. Training page. Yeah, I'm just popping a link in. If you could pass on that link, John.
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat room, George.
This is for the training page.
Okay.
And the training page has the Skype rooms, all the information on. Well worth, have a look at those videos on there. You'll learn so much from those videos. And there's a presentation which I've just done. There's a whiteboard presentation. There's a back office training video. There's how to do banners. Lots of information there. Well worth a good look. And you can contact us at any time through there, through the Skype rooms, and we'll answer any questions and look after you any way that you wish. I think that's about it now, John, if there's no more questions.
No, there's no questions. No, there's no questions.
Great. Okay, we'll say good night. God bless. Thank you very much, John, yet again, for your excellent help this week. Much appreciated.
Very welcome.
With all these webinars.
Take care.
We call you John Webinar a day, I think. Sometimes more. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.